We're south of San Francisco, just a little bit south of Pillar Point Harbor at Surfers Beach, where the viral video was shot showing high radiation levels. So we're here at the bluffs. Let's see what these bluffs read out. So we have 60, went up to 72, 70. Now, the local newspapers here are reporting that a CPM of 30 is what's normal for this location. So we have 70 right now. Let's turn around to the black silt where the man in the video said he had very high readings and see what those read out. We're walking towards the beach. This is the black silt area. And as you can see, the meter is picking up speed here. We jumped to 90, 104, 120, 128, 144. 162, still climbing. 194. 222. 240. 264. 262. 270. 284. 286. 292. And remember, they say 30 is what's normal for this location. So high radiation levels right here. So we're about 270, 276. So we're maxing out around 280 or so. And remember, 30 is what's normal for this location. Now they're disputing that this isn't the cesium-137. They're saying this is radium and other things that naturally occur in the environment. Whatever it is, it's abnormally high. And so we're going to be out here all week long, not just here in California, but driving all the way up the coast to see what the locals think about these situations and what they think it is. This is Jakari Jackson for Infowars.com.
Japan's seafood industry says it's blighted by contaminated catches. Nearly 3 years after the Fukushima nuclear disaster polluted surrounding land and waterways, they can't convince customers their fish is safe, even though the authorities insist they're doing their level best to show they've got a grip on the problem. Alexei Yershevsky reports.
Work doesn't stop in the port of Soma, despite being just a few kilometers from areas still ravaged by the 2011 tsunami and still contaminated by radiation. Seafood of all shapes and sizes lands here several times a day.
Not only fish has traditionally been the integral part of the Japanese food culture, but also one of its prized exports. Last year alone, the exporting companies pocketed more than $2 billion. However, there are serious concerns now. This particular catch was made in the waters of the Fukushima nuclear power station.
After it became known that hydraulic system at the Fukushima nuclear power plant was severely radiated, fears grew that the contamination could be spreading into the Pacific.
There are a significant contamination in the bottom sediment, especially in the pond and the river system, that we can find a very, very high concentration of the radiocesium is accumulated.
Fish factories around the Fukushima prefecture now have to take radiation measurements. But despite lab workers assuring us the fish was free of any harmful particles,
we're taking samples from every catch we make, and if we ever find even slightest trace of radiation, we'll destroy the whole catch. So far there has been none. This fish is safe.
And even the nuclear plant operator TEPCO standing firm that the nearby waters are clear of radiation.
The situation is pretty much under control. We've built fences not to let polluted groundwaters leak into the ocean.
We were surprised to learn that most of the seafood we saw at the port of Soma will never make it to the shelves of fish markets or restaurant tables.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the News Guru. I'm James Ledbetter, your host. Today I want to do another update on the Fukushima crisis because it's really starting to get out of hand. People are starting to call this a nuclear war without a war. And things are just getting way out of control. And the bad thing about it is Japan is starting to try to move people back into the area and trying to pretend that nothing is wrong. A Japanese novelist, Haruki Murakami, was quoted as saying this: This time, no one dropped a bomb on us. We set the stage. We committed the crime with our own hands. We are destroying our own lands, and we are destroying our own lives. And this is a Japanese novelist. The nuclear radiation which threatens life on planet Earth is not front page news in comparison to most insignificant issues of public concern, including the local level crime scene of the tabloid gossip reported on Hollywood celebrities. In other words, what Kanye is doing or what Kim Kardashian is doing seems to be more important to the elite than informing the masses on what's actually going on with the Fukushima crisis. I've reported in many instances where Fukushima far dwarfs that of any other nuclear radiation crisis, including Chernobyl. While a long-time repercussion of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster are yet to be fully assessed, they are far more serious than these pertaining to the 1986 Chernobyl disasters in the Ukraine, which resulted in almost 1 million deaths. That means that this is a lot more serious, and it affects more lives than Chernobyl. It's more on a global scale than Chernobyl. And people are not really grasping the importance and the understanding of what's really going on with this. Why is Japan trying to keep this a secret? Why is Japan not telling you that they don't even have the technology to clean it up? And that's the sad part about it, folks. They don't even have the technology to clean this up. I mean, you have farmers in the middle of the United States reporting that something's wrong with their crops. I mean, think about it. You have where the seawater on the coast of California evaporate and go up into the clouds. The clouds travel, they become rain clouds, and they rain on the crops that we're eating every day. We're eating seafood out of the sea every day. That's how it's affecting the United States, slowly. And they don't want to tell you this. They're trying to keep this a secret until they figure out how to clean it up, and then they want to become the heroes. The heroes after millions of people are going to die of cancer. People are already starting to get cancer in a multitude of different ways. And the thing is us as humans, we deserve to know what's really going on in this abomination. We deserve to have the truth because it involves us. It involves us on a universal level. The universe of this is tragic. And people don't seem to understand because nobody's covering it. The mainstream media is not covering it. And this has to be one of the most diabolical, epic situations that has ever befallen the American people, the world, the human race as a whole. In 2011, when they realized that this was actually happening and this was becoming a problem, they started sending robots in And the nuclear radiation was so extreme that it was dissolving the components of the robots. They can't have a robot assessing the situation for more than 5 minutes before the robot is starting to disintegrate. Now tell me, this particular radiation is spilling off into the water that's draining off into the Pacific Ocean and killing off the fish. People are eating the fish. People are eating these fish that are exposed to this nuclear radiation. People are eating the crops that are being rained on by this nuclear rain, this fallout, if you will. And for them to call it a nuclear war without a war speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. Because we all know that a nuclear war would be devastating. I mean, you know, just like the novelist said, they're in a nuclear war and nobody dropped a bomb on them. They done it to themselves. And now the whole world is involved. And this is getting zero coverage, people. Zero coverage. They don't want you to know. They're trying to keep this from you because they themselves have no clue what's going on. Because they can't get, like I say, they can't get the robots in there to assess the situation. This is becoming a worldwide tragedy. I advise you people to do research. I've quit eating fish out of the sea. I mean, I've actually stopped eating fish out of the sea. Seafood is no longer in my diet, which that only prolongs the inevitable. Because it's not only in the fish, it's also raining on the crops. So, until next time, this is James Ledbetter signing off for the News Guru.